We all knew that the Marvels was going to be a box office disappointment because, quite frankly, if the name Disney is attached to something, if the name Marvel's attached to something, it's probably going to be a disappointment. That's what we've seen over the past couple of years, whether it's at the box office or whether it's on streaming. But I'm not sure anyone was ready for the disaster that the Marvels has been. Not only did it have the lowest opening weekend in history for an MCU movie, but it's also going to end its run as the lowest grossing movie in history. And all along the way, you've seen people trying to pass the blame. You've seen Nia DaCosta said, I wanted to do this, but it's Kevin Feige's movie. You've seen Marvel blame Nia DaCosta, the director, for leaving during post-production. And then, of course, Bob Iger only a few days ago said, there just wasn't enough supervision on set. And that's why the Marvels turned out to be a worse product than we would have normally wanted. Well, the reality is, regardless of who has more blame in this entire thing, the Marvels is an abject failure. And now Disney's doing something that's unheard of. Only 4 weekends. This is its 4th weekend of release. And Disney's coming out and saying, hey, you know what? We're going to stop reporting grosses on this thing because it's got to wind it down its box office. You guys don't need those day-to-day grosses, do you? Just so you can make fun of us each and every day, because now it's outside of the top 10. This is a pathetic failure. The Marvels ends box office run as lowest grossing MCU movie in history. There's nothing heroic about the final box office performance of the Marvels. Thank you, mainstream media, for after years of defending Disney and protecting Disney, doing all these things, saying that we're wrong, we're toxic fans, for just saying it how it is. Yeah, there's nothing heroic about that. There's nothing heroic about what's happening with the Marvels. It's pathetic. The superhero sequel is officially the lowest grossing installment in history of the MCU. After 4 weeks on the big screen, the comic book tentpole is running out of steam with $80 million domestic and $197 million globally. There would typically be optimism that attendance could rebound over the busy holiday season, but Disney apparently doesn't expect that to be the case. The studio wrote on Sunday in a note to press, with the Marvels box office now winding down, we will stop weekend reporting of international global grosses on this title. They're admitting that this thing's done, that this thing ain't making any more money. Just look at the most recent numbers. Overseas, the Marvels is approaching the end of its box office run, grossing just $3.9 million on its 4th weekend, allied to $80 million in the U.S. The new MCU film with a massive production budget, and we know it's higher than that because we know $274 million is just through September of last year. This budget is easily over $300 million when they're finally forced to reveal the real numbers next year at some point due to tax disclosures. Not including marketing, it's a $197 million global cum, eyeing a disastrous $210 million run. That's where people are now expecting this to be, $210 million. To put that in perspective, if they do spend $300 million on production budget, and let's be conservative and say $100 million on marketing, because things like Guardians of the Galaxy, those were $150 million marketing machines. Let's say, be conservative. Let's be nice to them, say $100 million. You're looking at $400 million invested in this thing. Considering they're only going to get half the box office proceeds, that would be a $300 million loss for Disney on this one fucking movie. That's where we are when it comes to the Marvels. And really, even more pathetically, look at where it's at. It fell out of the top 10. That's why Disney's issued this thing. Hey, it's winding down its run. It's only been out 4 weeks. And we're going to stop reporting international global numbers for a while. You guys don't need those, do you? What a joke. Sitting there below Thanksgiving, Silent Night, The Shift, right? Angel Studios, The Shift, Animal, Napoleon, Wish, Trolls, Godzilla -1, Hunger Games, and the Beyonce film. Holy shit. As bad as we all knew it would be, I do not think, maybe some people did. If you're one of the people out there that predicted a $200 million global run for this thing a couple months ago, then congratulations to you. I knew it was going to flop. I knew it was going to lose money. But I was expecting somewhere in the range of $350 million, less than Quantumania, but higher than something like The Flash. No, this is an all-time flop. This may be, when it's all said and done, the biggest financial flop in the history, not just of the MCU, but of Disney as a company. That's how bad this is. And they are admitting now. They're admitting to the press that it's over. It's done. There is no hope. The Marvels, and really the MCU, is dead.